You know how we go through life doing a whole bunch of judging and persecuting, shaming and blaming, criticizing. We seem to do it so well, don't we? It seems to be like a little default setting that the minute we feel challenged, the minute we feel threatened, we back into this place of fighting back with our words and our language and our body and our everything else. This reactiveness that comes in us is really just a defense mechanism, because we are so tired of being blamed and shamed and judged and persecuted. We have been doing this kind of pattern, one against the other, for hundreds and thousands of years. We have been playing in this game of separation, isolation. It's that energy of dispute and anger and on two sides, two different places of being. Why do we do this? Why do we have this energy so enmeshed in us? We have been growing up in a space of survival energy. And in order to survive, we have got to be in a place of cluster, a community, this little group against that group. Because if this little group can be together and we can defend and protect what we have, you can't take it, then we've got a very good chance of surviving. That mentality, plus all the other little lingering feelings around it, they have been inculcated into our being now. They are imprinted into our energy awareness and our psyche. The sense of separation. Now, that's one of the reasons. The other reason is that our sense of value of ourself, our own being, am I worthwhile? That idea of me depends on what am I wearing, where do I live, what car do I drive, how much jewelry I'm wearing on my fingers, who I'm associated with, how do we speak, where did I get my education. It's dependent, reliant energy. So when we are depending on everything that is outside of us to tell us who we are, and to give us a sense of worth, a sense of value, then what we are always seeking is that which is outside of ourselves to inform who we are. Then I will say, well, yes, I'm worthwhile, and yes, I've got value, and all of this must stay as a stage with all these little props. They must stay right there so that I can constantly get my feedback and my nourishment from them. But heaven forbid if the props change or someone takes a little bit of this away or a little bit of that, or we lose something. So our energy and our sense of value has become dependent. And the place where it is very bad, a third space, is on behavior. When I grew up, we had these little ideas, these little silly sayings and poems, and I haven't heard it in this modern setting, which is great. But this was one that was very much in play when I was a little girl. There was a little girl who had a little curl right in the middle of her forehead. And when she was good, she was very good. And when she was bad, she was horrid. Horrid. Can you imagine that language and that persecution and shaming and blaming in that? And so we have the words, when she was good, she was very good. When she was bad, so we've got the separation going now into behavior. So behaviors now have little fences. You're on that side of the fence and I'm on this side of the fence. We have the separation, and the minute we have separation, we have conflict and confusion and chaos. We don't have connection, we don't have merging, we don't have integrating. We have this constant outside static and chaos. And then we have this constant expectation to perform in a certain way so that I will be accepted, so that. That is dependent energy. The moment we open dependent energy in our being, we start to play inside of that. We depend and we rely upon the conditions or validations or people or things or circumstances. That dependent energy is exhausting us because there is never enough. It will never, ever be enough. I can never, ever be okay because there will always be something else that I could depend upon. And then if you add in another little beautiful little sprinkle of this, fear. Fear of being left out, fear of being on your own, fear of being lonely. So then if we fear any of these little senses or emotions, then we create even more drama so that we can create it. So look at me, look at me, look at me, see what my life's all about. And it's just more and more static and more chaos. And the more we do this and we place the clutter around us, the further we go from ourselves. So imagine if we could do this now. We could come home to me. We go like this. I am coming home to me. I'm going to start valuing this beautiful presence that is me. I'm going to start enjoying just being in me. I'm not dependent on this or that, a boyfriend or money or situations or education. I'm not depending on anything. My sense of value is that I am of value. And my sense of worthiness is not dependent on anything else. And my self-worth does not come from stuff, does not come from behavior. My sense of worthiness is that I am of worth. I am a worthwhile being. Just being here must tell you that. You wouldn't be here if you were not of worth. If you weren't of value, you could not be here if you were just of no worth, no value to this life. It's just that we haven't seen it because we've been seeing it through this clutter lens. It's driving us crazy. I see people going doolally because they're constantly playing in the clutter and the chaos. Come back. Who am I? Who am I? And value the I am. Value this I am. Without condition, without validation, without any dependencies, without a need to label myself because of behavior. Behavior is behavior and value is value, and they are not interdependent. My value will always be, it is the solid constant of my beingness, my value. And everything else that dances and crashes and clashes and collides in and around me, that is behavior, it's performance, it's expectations, it's people, it's stuff. It's not truth. When we release ourselves from this life, all we have is our sense of value, our sense, our presence. That is what we have, the presence of who we are, the essence of who we are. That is what we are always. Nothing gives it to you and nothing can take it away from you. It is you. You are of value. Hear that and truly embrace it and hold it and honor it in the center of your being. And start to play with the idea that you cannot let these two spaces, my value and my worthiness, be locked into this idea of behavior. All right, my sweetie, so much love. Think about it, process it and hold it, and may you find a deep inner peace because you spend time doing that. Thank you for you.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see from up here.